tell us a little bit about the ambassador program and what the opportunity to the advisor community looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. And to kind of take a step back too, I'd even talk a little bit about sort of the service that we provide. And you mentioned revenue generation and taking leads and converting them into sales. That's really been one of the things that has made me so excited about our business going back to the very beginning, was that we're always focused on helping companies generate more revenue and sales. And so, yes, we are kind of a BPO of sorts.
Yep.
We don't consider ourselves a BPO because most BPOs are doing customer support and handling those commodity type things where it's
Kind of
like
some of the inbound.
yeah, inbound, like, I have a question about my account. Right. And then it's like real basic. Let me look up and tell you this information. And, in that industry, it's kind of a race to zero for cost, because it's like how can we get that cost to as low as point as possible, even outsourcing it? Where can we outsource it to overseas? Things like that. And we've always stayed away from customer support type stuff and always focused on revenue. So the companies that we've really worked with in the industries and verticals are like mortgage companies and insurance companies and home services companies and healthcare and these different verticals where there's a lot of consumers, there's a lot of lead volume data, high volume of lead data, and it's so much, the volumes are so high, it's hard for those companies to effectively work those leads in a systematic way to get the most potential out of those as possible. And so that's really been the crux of Squeeze. We sit between marketing and sales to help increase contact rate and conversion rate on the leads that are being generated. And, we do about 4,000 live transfers and sales appointments a day. Yeah. And so it's a very high volume. We're doing a high volume of outbound calls and receiving inbound calls. And it's all about how do we help take that customer who's sort of maybe raised their hand a little bit and turn that into a sales opportunity that a salesperson would be able to speak with and get into the sales funnel. And we do that most heavily in consumer markets with B2C type companies. And so that's really what Squeeze is all about. And you can check our site out online, gosqueeze.com. But to answer your question about the ambassador program, we've had a number of ambassadors. Our oldest ambassador that we've worked with now, referral partner, has been 10 years. And we've worked with this individual for 10 years. And he's made over $1 million in commissions working with our company. Wow. And so there's a lot of commission to be paid out on these relationships. And it's just as simple as making an introduction to Squeeze. Like, you're out there in the field, you have a relationship with a particular company, you're helping them with their technology, with their UCaaS, their CCaaS, but then it goes beyond and it's like, we really are having problems staffing and scaling this particular function, how to talk to consumers in a way where if you're putting a customer support agent on a phone with a potential consumer who wants to explore the possibility of buying your product, you don't want to put them on the phone with a customer support agent. You want to put them on the phone with an agent that's going to be able to have that initial kind of sales type conversation and pique their interest and then make sure they're qualified and then tee it up for a sales agent, whether it's a transfer or an appointment. And that's what we do. So the ambassador program has been really effective. We're expanding it now, and we're really wanting to get hundreds of ambassadors to work with who, we recognize the power of these relationships that your partners have, and we tap into that, and it can be really mutually beneficial for both groups and both parties. So